Hey guys, Beauty Bricks bringing you guys another video. Today we are talking about the V-19 torrent that released at the first this month for $69.99, coming with you with 3 figures. We're going to talk about that, the build, and generally what I think about this set in today's video. If you guys do like this video, I'd recommend you guys give the video a like. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know down below what you think of the video in the comments. Definitely really helps the channel out and I really appreciate it. Let's go ahead and jump into the video. Alright guys, so first things first, we are looking at set 75432, the V-19 torrent that released from LEGO this year on the 1st of August for the summer wave. And the one thing I'll tell you about this set, first off, just looking at the box, is that we actually have some cool box art. It looks like it's in space. It actually looks kind of creative for once, instead of just being like a black mosaic box with a ship on it. On the back, you can see that Obi-Wan and Ventress, which we haven't seen in a very long time, are fighting on the back of this while a pilot is rushing to take off from the hangar. So a little bit more creativity. Definitely love seeing this from LEGO. I want more of this. Please, less black box art, please. All right, guys. So jumping into the build for this set, we have the V-19 torrent on display here on one of my 3D printed stands that I've already talked about before. And I will say, first and foremost, it looks really good on display. It is definitely a cool set. I will say it compares very nicely to the Arc 170 that we did earlier this year. And first and foremost, it has the trans yellow cockpit piece, which is really neat. The wings do fold up as play features, and there's one other play feature. Pulling this set down off of my stand, you guys can see here, this center wing actually folds down and locks into position. So it can be in swoosh mode and you can have some fun with it. However, the one thing I will say is it is a little bit of a disappointment that this does not have the previous feature, which was this set would fold on its own when you turned any one of the wings. I will say, for $69.99, they did a really good job building this set. You guys do have some flick-fire missiles here on the sides, or some stud shooters. You have 2 large cannons, a cockpit piece, and the wings do fold, and it looks nice in a rested, landed position. Looks really solid. Definitely a really cool set. There are a couple stickers as far as the build goes. You guys have the 2 on the front of the engines here, and then you have 2 on the wings, the Republic logo and these 2 red and white stripes. They're not terrible, they're easy to apply, and it would have been nice to get these as printed pieces, but for $69, you know, beggars can't be choosers. It's a solid build. And obviously, if you were to get this with the Arc 170, both builds would go together, especially with the Ahsoka Jedi Starfighter as well. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and jump into the figures, because that's probably why you wanted to buy this set in the first place. The first figure we're going to be looking at here is the Phase 1 pilot that we should have gotten with the UCS gunship a couple years ago. However, LEGO has made up to us by giving us a custom mold for this pilot, which we've never had before. We've only ever had 2 other pilots before this, which was just a regular clone pilot with the yellow on it, with like a single yellow stripe, and then the Z95 Headhunter pilot, which actually had a completely different mold. Both of those were great. However, when you look at this one, it's a little off, but granted, for the price and LEGO giving us a brand new mold they've never used before, I think it came out pretty good. Obviously, people are going to buy this, they're going to reprint over it, and they're going to make it look 10 times better, and people are going to buy those anyway. So if you want a better figure, give it 5 or 6 months, buy one of the customs, make your pilot look a little bit more accurate than LEGO did. But for the price, and as far as the consumer is going to go with, whether it's a child, someone like me, or someone who actually likes to do army building, I think this is pretty solid. Because all you're going to see when they're sitting in the cockpit is the markings on the helmet, which is ultimately where he's going to sit. And so this is definitely a good reason enough to buy this set as far as this figure goes. Let's go and get the really special figures though. The next figure that I'm going to go over is very special to the set. We have not seen this figure in quite some time. We have a Clone Wars Ventress, as you guys can see here, from the later seasons. And honestly, she looks really cool. She is one of the coolest figures and one of the coolest villains that we've ever seen in Star Wars. And tried and true, we get her purple outfit from Clone Wars, as well as her lightsabers. And LEGO doesn't really make too many different lightsaber handlers. Obviously, with the Inquisitors, Count Dooku. And many years ago, Ventress had her own custom sabers that are actually tapered towards the end in like a really weird way. And they just look really good. It would have been nice to have these chromed, because it's going to be probably some time before we actually see this figure. But, you know, they did a really good job with the head. Obviously, you guys can see we have just the one design on the head here with her tattoos. But overall, this figure is pretty cool. No dual molded legs, but the print on the torso and the back just looks really good, like she is ready for combat to rip through our next figure we're going to jump into. and by far the coolest figure in this set, and the real reason why a lot of people wanted to get this, we finally have Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars with his armored piece. And I've only ever seen this figure made by custom makers, and I'm so glad that LEGO has able to provide this figure to us in a cheap set that is widely available for everybody, at least for the next 2 or 3 years, hopefully. And one of the really cool things is we got the similar arm design that Mace Windu got with the fighter tank, and then also he has the torso and the on his back his armor from the Clone Wars. And that's one of the best things about this figure is it's a figure we've always wanted, and it's a figure LEGO has finally delivered to us in a really cheap, affordable set. Let's go ahead and talk about some other small details and wrap up the video. Getting into my final thoughts of the V-19 Torrent from this year, I do think the set released in 2025 is really good. I think LEGO has given us a great value for the money that we have, and a great set of figures as well. But there's one thing missing from this set that I think would really help. And I'm going to pull out, this is not a comparison, but just referencing what we had versus what we got. LEGO did release this V-19 Torrent in 2009, 2008, when the Clone Wars was just coming around. And this has one of the coolest play features we've ever seen, and LEGO has never done it again. And I believe the only reason this set doesn't have this feature is because I think they stopped making this part. If I let go of this, the wing features will open by themselves. And that's one of the coolest things. It uses these little pneumatic tubes on both sides of the build to push the wings out and unfold them so you can fly around with this set. It's one of the coolest features, and I really wish it did make a comeback, but you know, if they stop making the part, it probably might be really expensive to start the production of that specific part just for this one set. And a lot of the times, I believe that part was used with like Rock Raiders or one of the other mining ones where a lot of like push and force was needed for sets, or like Bionicle or Technic. And those are all pretty much gone, minus Technic, and not a lot of those cars have push or push functionality. They might have some engines or motors that move, but that's really about it. However, though, the set itself, without that play feature, still is a good set, and it's definitely worth your money. It is the standout star of this wave, much as the ARC 170 was earlier this year. This set has done the same for the summer wave. However, I'd like to know what you guys think down in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell if you guys want to see more videos like this. And I want to know, do you guys think that the V-19 Torrent's a good set? Do you guys think that LEGO should have made it bigger? Do you think they should have kept the play feature the same with the folding and unfolding? I'd really want to know what you guys have to think. As always, I've been Bricks, and I'll see you guys in the next one.